Oh, I'm sorry. Did someone say yip yip? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and happy Halloween. I hope you guys are enjoying your Halloween day. You guys already know who I am, but if you don't, let me just tell you, I'm the flyest bison y'all ever seen. Yes, I'm Appa. I had to pay some respect to this man because this guy carried physically and mentally, emotionally, spiritually, Team Avatar. So, I gotta get him right, of course. So, as I said before, it is Halloween, and we gotta talk about a Halloween movie. Specifically, the Halloween series, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. And I just recently watched Halloween Kills. You can watch it on Peacock. I don't blame you if you don't have Peacock. But Halloween Kills just released, and it's not the best. It's not great. But I'll explain that later. How about instead we just get into the recap, and we will just talk about it later. So let's go. Basically, the important things you need to know is that this takes place like minutes after Halloween 2018. Michael is supposed to be preheating at 350 in the basement, but unfortunately, some firefighters show up and put it out before Michael is crispy and golden brown. Michael then proceeds to body a whole team of firefighters using their own hatchets and chainsaws against them. Truly embarrassing. Meanwhile, our main girl, Laurie Strode, is sent to the hospital for her wounds, unaware that Michael is still alive because she's undergoing surgery. Michael proceeds to go back to killing, because, what else would he do? And he sets his sights on a bar, which happens to have a grown-up Tommy and Lindsay, the two kids from the first movie, along with other survivors, celebrating 40 years without Michael. Of course, Michael couldn't let them waltz around here saying he was gone, so he demands the bar's attention by crashing a car into a pole, letting him know he is alive and well. Tommy is now so mad that Michael made him look like a fool in front of all of his little bar friends. Like, I just said you were gone, and now you just want to show up here out of nowhere? Come on, man. So he bands the whole town together to hunt down Michael Myers, sporting their new phrase, "Evil dies tonight." Yeah, you like that? Because you'll hear it about 20 more times during this movie. The mob also recruits a couple of actual children because, those are the best people to hunt down serial killers, which includes Laurie's granddaughter Allison against her mother Karen's wishes. Now, to save time in this recap, let me just tell you after this point, nothing really happens. Michael proceeds to kill people in his Looney Tune-esque way. They keep shouting, "Evil dies tonight," and they bully a mentally ill man into killing himself because they thought he was Michael, despite him not having any close physical traits to him, and they had no evidence backing this up. The only notable thing to point out after this point is, and this is a spoiler for the ending of the movie, Michael falls into the town's trap, and they surround him, and they just start taking turns wailing on him, beating his face into the concrete, the old Haddonfield haymakers. But, of course, that was only merely a back massage for Mr. Myers, because he then stands up and mows down half the population of the town like Thanos. Man, who knew a regular baseball bat couldn't kill Michael Myers, am I right? The movie also ends with Michael, again, big spoiler, killing Karen, Laurie Strode's daughter, in literally the last 5 seconds of the movie by magically sneaking past an army of cops surrounding the house that she was in. So, all in all, a successful manhunt. All right, we are back from the recap. And so, let's scrape up some grades, honestly, because I really wanted to like this movie. Like, me and my girlfriend, we had a whole platter just set and ready. We were just so prepared to just enjoy a movie, and unfortunately, we just didn't, which is crazy because I actually really like 2018. I like the original. I mean, I have my gripes with the others, including the original as well, but this one just had way too many for me to like. So let's just get into the grades. First off, editing. Editing was good. I think that it was edited in a way that really felt like a Halloween. I think they're on brand all the time when it comes to their editing, along with their cinematography as well. Just overall, they keep it on brand. So, I mean, I think when you're watching it, you know you're watching a Halloween movie. I think that they did a good job at making sure to keep that same vibe throughout all the movies. So, I will give them that, and I would also give them a great for the score. Now, it's kind of a cop out in a sense, just because I mean it's still kind of the same score from the old movie, the original. But nonetheless, though, I love the original score for Michael Myers' theme, and I think they still did a good job at keeping that like creepy, kind of light tone, almost lighthearted, but also not. It's like still kind of creepy throughout the movie. So, sure, I will give you guys that great. Now, let's just hop into the gripes, because I got a handful. First off, let's talk about the idiocracy of the movie. Just like some of the characters, Is idiocracy a word? Is that correct? It is. It is in this video. Listen, and before you jump on me, all you slasher fans out there, everyone understands that a slasher film needs idiotic characters to drive the narrative. Someone needs to make a bad decision so the killer can one-up them and move on with the story. Absolutely. Completely agree. But sometimes a movie can almost get a little bit too stupid for its own good, where it almost starts to lean away from a slasher film and becomes a comedy. Now, a movie that does this really well, I really enjoy Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That one is it's already a comedy. It knows it's a comedy, but it also has horror aspects that I think is a lot of fun. But Halloween Kills almost starts to lean towards the Tucker and Dale category of being kind of a comedy on how dumb it gets. So, because in my eyes, when the original Halloween movie was not a comedy, there was comedy aspects in it. There's certain jokes here and there. Almost every movie has some jokes here and there. Same for Halloween 2018, which I actually really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that movie, and that one had some jokes in there, obviously, of course. It's gonna be some goofy aspects, but it's almost like as a viewer, you could tell what part's the joke, what part's the slasher. But it almost started to meld, where I was just like, what am I watching? This is a parody? So, let's get into some of the stupid things that happen, because I gotta talk about it. First off, Michael breaks out the burning building. We get it. We know he's a Terminator, okay? And that part, I'm not debating. I almost kind of like the fact that he's almost invincible, except I'll get into that later. The firefighters get just demolished by him, to say the least. But then one of them pulls out his fire hose, starts pouring on him. But the thing is, a fire hose is super powerful. It's supposed to just be able to knock over anybody. I get it. I know that Michael Myers is almost invincible, but you can almost see visually how the pressure changes when it hits Michael, and it almost looks like someone's dumping a bucket of water on him almost. The power pressure just decreases that. It's almost ridiculous. Where I'm just like, listen, take me to Taco Bell, give me a Baja Blast, and I promise you I will produce a much stronger blast than what that hose did in that movie. Yeah, that is disgusting, but I'm being serious. It's just, what is that, So, and then next off, we go into the manhunt scene. Obviously, first off, someone asked kids to join him. I was like, that makes no sense. Whatever, moving on. And they're also going off of what they saw on the newscast. The newscast showed two people's faces. One dude who looked like Mad Eye Moody, and the other guy, which was obviously Michael Myers. And, of course, they're like, ooh, we gotta go catch him. And they see the one dude, the mentally ill man, and they bully him into killing himself. Yeah, sure, you didn't see his physique beforehand, whatever. I guess you could kind of tell me that makes sense why they did it, because they didn't know, but it's so painstakingly stupid to watch that it just drove me crazy watching it. Also, circling a little bit back, this happened before, the crew, the Lindsay's crew that went off to go find Michael, they're in the car. She goes off to go help this little kid, a group of kids, and the car gets attacked by Michael, including and then Lindsay later. The car has the wife and husband, the two medical people. I don't know, whatever. And they're in the car. The husband dies. The wife has the gun. She gets out of the car and disappears. She's gone. And while this other lady's getting attacked in the car, where is she? Where's the lady with the gun? But then she comes back after everyone in the car is dead. She comes back with the gun. Because what did she run a lap around the street, around the block? What were you doing? She comes back with the gun, starts blasting. And then Michael kicks the door open, knocks the gun around, and she blasts herself in the face. You're joking. You're joking. No, that's a joke, right? Okay. All right. See, it's Looney Tunes. It's ridiculous. Because in the first movie, I'm gonna go back to the original movie and the 2018 version. The original movie had, some kills were kind of crazy. He somehow managed to pin a dude onto the wall using a butcher knife. And the butcher knife wasn't even long enough to do so. Yeah, it makes no sense. We get it. That's just poor production value. Whatever. Sure. But that's just goofy. That's just ridiculous. So, whatever. And like the last idiot thing, we have Lonnie, who took the kids. Again, why do you have kids with you on a manhunt for a serial killer? Lonnie goes to the house to go find Michael, and then he tells the kids to stay in the car. Then why'd you bring me? Huh? Why'd you bring me? So you could watch me get murdered? So maybe you could get murdered while you're still stuck in the car? Doesn't make any sense. Of course, Lonnie dies. Then the boy dies too. He goes off and they all get killed in the house, except for the daughter, of course. But, well, the granddaughter, because you know the daughter. So the movie was just so filled with such ridiculous choices that it stopped being a slasher. It started becoming kind of a comedy, but I didn't think it was funny, though. That's the issue. So that's that. The idiocracy. Is that still a word? I'm writing it down anyway. Next up, we just got poor writing. The writing wasn't great. I just thought the lines were kind of ridiculous. You didn't have to write down "Evil Dies Tonight" that many times. Did you get tired of just typing that in over and over? It's ridiculous. I just thought it was poor writing. And writing also contributes to the pacing of the movie. And overall, I feel like I got nothing for this overall movie. I feel like I didn't really see anything that even made any sense to watch. Because, again, we got the base movie, Halloween 1978. That's the introduction to Michael. And we see him causing his Haddonfield horrors the first time around. Jump 40 years later. 2018 Halloween. For some reason, the title is still the same. I don't know why. Maybe because they failed at making a new title 12 other times in the alternate timelines. We're not going to. Actually, we could talk about those. If you guys want to see me watch all the other ones, because I haven't seen all the Halloween films. So, also, Halloween fans, don't get at me. I only watched the original timeline, okay? But I can get into all the other ones. I could make a whole other video, do like a whole study of them. That could be kind of fun. So just let me know. I could make a video about that. But anyway, getting back to my quarrel, 2018, Michael comes back. He breaks out of the facility, and he has a doctor on his side that is like obsessed with him, and it's yada yada yada. Good movie, and it grows, because then you see how Laurie Strode is dealing with what happened 40 years ago and how it affects her family life. Very interesting character study, and seeing how mentally broken she is and how that kind of seeps into the rest of her family, the other two generations below her. Very interesting stuff. I really enjoyed that. But then it's like we get to Halloween Kills, which I get it. It's supposed to be a filler episode, really, because that's all it is. It's a middle one, because Halloween Ends comes out next year, 2022. But it's like you could add some substance to the story, but I feel like I didn't gain anything other than the fact that now I know that Laurie's granddaughter dies, because it's nothing else happens. It's pretty much a group of people running in circles, which I understand that that's the point, to watch the hysteria of a town, kind of blow out of proportion, but it wasn't fun to watch. Just a group of dumb people doing dumb things. No. And also, when it comes to the writing, it's just, again, it didn't really know what it wanted to be. Is it supposed to be a comedy or not? Because also we have Big John and Little John, which actually I kind of like them as a character, but here's the thing. One of the writers is Danny McBride. We all know who Danny McBride is. Very funny. I love Danny McBride as a comedian, as a comical actor. It's almost like I can see the McBrideness is seeping into the Halloween, because he also wrote the last one. I didn't really get that from it in the last one, but this one really was briding it up, It just, like Big John and Little John seemed like it looked like Big John could have been played by Danny McBride in another movie. And honestly, take Big John and Little John out of the movie, put them in another movie, because I would watch that. I would watch a comedy movie with those two in it. Too bad they're dead. But they were very funny. But again, I'm laughing at them, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot I'm watching a Halloween movie. I'm supposed to be thrilled and scared, but instead I'm just kind of laughing. I was almost laughing at this whole movie. So there's that. So overall, it's just, I thought the writing was kind of poor. I don't think that it really stood up to what the Halloween movies were before. Also, another gripe, can we talk about, we don't see like any of Laurie Strode. She's sitting in the hospital bed the whole time. Like, she gets up, she puts herself with a little painkiller in her, and she goes, I'm ready, I'm going to go get Michael. And then she gets pushed, stitches open, back in the bed. And then I'm just like, what? Which, it sucks, because I think Jamie Lee Curtis is a phenomenal actress. She's great, but she couldn't do anything in this. And this goes on with the bad writing, because her performance wasn't good, only in the sense of the fact that her writing, her lines, actors can only work with so much when it comes to the written words they're given. Like, great example, Will Smith in Suicide Squad. I think Will Smith is a great actor. Like, I Am Legend, obviously you guys know, that is one of my favorite movies ever. But in Suicide Squad, it was kind of like ridiculous. It's like his lines were bad, but he was acting as much as he could. And that's how I felt when it comes to Laurie, how about Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie. She was laying in bed the whole time, and she didn't do much. She was performing her lines as much as she could, but she was given nothing. So I feel for her on that one. But hey, Jamie Lee Curtis, get the bag. I understand it. You gotta do these movies. But also, here, I'll pay you. We'll make a short film on my channel. I'll make a better Halloween movie, and you'll star in it. I'll direct a Halloween movie for you. I'll write it too. So here you go. Hit me up. We can work together. So that's pretty much it for the gripes. But the thing is, I said it's a handful, but actually, the thing is, with it being those two were a lot. Those were the main components needed in a movie that I need, is at least some smart choices, some smart writing, and I didn't really get any of it. And listen, I'm the king of Tybo films. I love a turn your brain off movie. I do. But this one, I couldn't even functionally turn my brain off without me turning it back on to go, that makes no sense. It just was crazy. And so that's pretty much it. Let me just give it a grade, because I have more to say when it comes about the Halloween series, but let's just give it this grade. Overall, Halloween Kills, for me, gets a 64%, like low D. It just, it didn't give me anything. Not that the old movies did. It was a filler episode. And honestly, anyone could pretty much skip this movie and just watch the last minutes when Laurie's own daughter dies. Because yeah, that's important. Speaking of which, I can't speak much of the new movie. I haven't seen it, obviously. I'm not a time traveler. But I've read an article. I've read a couple. Because in an interview, the director, he was speaking on what's going to be the next one. And let me just say, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. The movie is supposed to have a time jump. Let me just pull up the article here. It says here, David Gordon Green says Halloween Ends will deal with the pandemic and peculiar politics. Guys, what? What? Listen to me here. I love film. Film is my life. We know this. I went to film school for it. I absolutely believe that politics do belong in film, in certain films, though. I think that a movie could teach people things. I think a movie could drive things. Humans will watch something and learn something. I think that movies can drive a powerful narrative that could really change the course of certain political aspects, you know? So I think there are political movies. I think that movies do a good job at that. Not Halloween. Not Halloween, buddy. Because on my other hand, you need an escape. Movies, that's what I love about film, is the fact that they could serve as a powerful message, but they can also serve as an escape from what your reality is looking like. And on this other hand, sometimes I am just not in the mood to even deal with any of the ridiculousness of what this world is sometimes, you know? And Halloween is a good movie for that, because they all are Tybo films. They are. You just kind of turn your brain off and watch Michael Myers go kill off some people, whatever. It's not something complex. It's just fun to watch. So why are we dealing with this? Why are we dealing with the peculiar politics? And the pandemic? Why are we even doing a time jump to address the pandemic? Just keep going from Halloween Kills like you did with Halloween, moving on to Halloween Kills. Because Halloween Kills only takes place like a couple minutes after the first movie. Or not the first movie, but the first trilogy of the new era. Not including 1978. But why are we dealing with what? Michael Myers is gonna be wearing a mask over his mask? This does not make sense. It's stupid. Especially not in my dumb Tybo horror slasher film. It's just stupid. Cause hold on. Cause he quotes this article with, where we're leaving these characters on Halloween 2018, the world is a different place. So not only do they have their immediate world affected by that trauma, having time to process that trauma, and that's a specific and immediate traumatic event. How many times are you gonna say trauma? In the community of Haddonfield, but then they also had a worldwide pandemic and peculiar politics and another million things that turned the world upside down. A million things turned our world upside down. Why do we need to watch that in Halloween? Peculiar politics. Just what, they demask it as Trump? Is that what's gonna happen? What, did we figure out that Michael rigged the voting election or something like that? Like, does Michael run for president? Actually, I'd watch that. Michael runs for president and then everyone for some reason votes for him. That would be very peculiar politics. But okay, so let's move on though, away from this dumb movie and the dumb future movie, and let's talk about the past movie, 1978. What did I like about it? I'm not gonna get into a whole recap, greats and gripes, because really it's just, Michael breaks out, terrorizes Haddonfield. Greats of it was, I'm taking off my nostalgia goggles here, even though I wasn't even born in 1978, obviously. I was born before that. But overall, I think it was fun. I think it was simple. Gripes, though, and this is something that I think is a big topic that we need to talk about, though. Why? I don't understand why they're even in high school, because why do we sexualize high schoolers? But it really didn't even have to take place in it. If you're going to make these high schoolers so horned up, well, you could have just had them in college, like in a small community, closed off campus college, and it would have been the same story, because you still would have had a campus police, parents away, and even babysitting. Sure, they still could have been babysitting. That's the whole point of the movie, is that she's trying to protect these kids, which grow up to be idiots. But I don't know. That's just, it's always kind of gross to me when I see that, when it's like high schoolers doing all this stuff and there's like nudity in it. It's just like, I know that the actors and actresses are older than that, but still, it's just kind of weird. Why are we setting that? That's weird. You're weird. And also, the shots were really long. Some of the shots just had really long padding runtime shots, like Michael after he stabbed his sister. Michael's watching Lori walk down the street. Long pause. It's like these pauses are really long for no reason, or again, other than a reason of padding the runtime. We could have cut those. This movie could have honestly, if we cut those, the movie could have pretty much been like 45 minutes. But it is what it is. Who cares? I gave that movie like a low 80, like a 80%. It's still a basic decent movie. And Halloween, the 2018 version, a lot of fun. I loved the kind of more serious nature of it. I love that the way that they dived into the character and how it affects people, just talking about the psychology of it all, and the fact that she trains these other generations to fight off Michael. I think it did almost just as good. Actually, I think I personally liked it a little bit more. I mean, it still had some of the high school, it had that in there a bit. I thought it was a little bit better than the first movie. I know that there's a lot of people who are gonna be like, "What? How can you say it's a classic?" Just because it's a classic doesn't mean it's necessarily good. We have to, as a society, move past the fact that just because a movie is old does not make it good. And Halloween, I'm not even saying that first Halloween is bad, but I liked Halloween, the next one, a little bit more personally. So that's just that on that. But let's move on. And before we end this video, I want to stop and make a special Halloween segment of Steven's Halloween movie recommendations to watch. For when the sun goes down, you want to see something a little bit you know what I mean? Let's get into some of my favorites. Okay, first off, I love Ari Aster, great director. So check out Hereditary and Midsommar. Both are fantastic. Both have a different feeling to them because Hereditary is just this sinking gut feeling of what lurks in the dark. He has a very great subtle way of giving you a scare without a jump scare. I love a no jump scare, and he is the master of it. He's so good at it. Then also check out Midsommar because that one all takes place in the morning. The light's always out, and you never see that. You never see a horror film that's always bright out. And it's awesome to see him do that and achieve it so well, because this movie's it feels gross. Watching this it made me feel like I was being covered in a layer of just oil. I don't know how to even explain it. I felt grimy watching it, but it was very good though. Very good. So those are my recommendations there. I would also recommend Quiet Place 1 and 2. Those are really good. Those are not as horror-y as you may want to go for, but if you were looking for some suspense, something that really tie up your stomach and you have to sit quiet. But some movies don't really even know how to use the quiet for their benefits, and obviously A Quiet Place 1 and 2 does. You never want to talk. I never talk during A Quiet Place 1 and 2. That one, it's so... Oh, it almost feels like a monster's gonna come out and kill you if you talk. Great. So, check out that. Now, another one also, I already said before, I Am Legend's a good one. It deals with like zombies. They're not necessarily zombies, but they're more infected humans, but nonetheless, they give you a zombie feel. So if you're kind of in the mood for a dystopian, desolate, sad, gloomy, but a little bit action-packed as well, if you're looking for something like that, go for I Am Legend. I think I might do a full review on that one because I think that one's so great. Another personal favorite. If you're looking for just the autumn-y vibe, but also a luring, creepy tone over something that's still kind of lighthearted, but underneath is something that you just feel creeping up on you, this is very much one of my favorite television series. This is still actually technically a mini TV series, but if I have a list of some of my favorite TV series, it's there. Over the Garden Wall. Fantastic animated short miniseries made by Cartoon Network. It's just phenomenal. I love it. I watch it every year in October. So if you want something like that, it's definitely Halloween themed. So definitely go check that out. And also the soundtrack is just fantastic. Beautiful music, beautiful animation, beautiful story. Overall, go check that out if you want to get some children's show creepy vibes. And now I saved this one for last because I want to talk about John Carpenter here, because clearly John Carpenter made the first Halloween 1978, but if you want a better John Carpenter movie than Halloween, go check out The Thing. So John Carpenter's The Thing in 1982, a little bit after his Halloween movie. This movie is so good with its scares. And I think the main thing that sticks out to me is the fact that there is a monster out, and it is disguising itself as other people, shape-shifting. Yes, haha, Among Us. That is pretty much Among Us the movie. Well, I guess, no. No, I won't say that. Among Us is pretty much The Thing, the game. The use of puppetry, the monster is made of puppets. It's all practical effects. And I love the digital era. I love the digital era. I love that what we can do with technology nowadays. They can make a scene out of nothing. It's pretty cool. I still love it. But somehow in this movie, this puppet is scarier than anything I've ever seen when it comes to what you can make digitally. It's so uncanny. It's so freaky. And the suspense is fantastic. It's only an hour and 49 minutes, perfect amount of movie time. Yeah. So take John Carpenter's Halloween, replace it with The Thing. Don't watch the Halloween Kills. Watch this. Halloween has nothing on this. I love The Thing. So guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Again, I hope you guys have a fantastic Halloween. Be safe. If you guys go trick-or-treating, make sure you check your candy for copies of Halloween Kills in it, because if you do see it, go straight to the police. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see.
Papa, yip yip.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go.